Alrighty guys, welcome. My name is Matt Armand. Obviously, for those of you who don't know me, it's a privilege of mine to be up here speaking to you about the 2025 Cadillac Escalade IQ. I'm really excited about this car. Before I do get into the IQ a little bit, I want to talk about its predecessor and its year it had in 2024 and the massive growth that we saw, and that is of course the Cadillac Lyriq. The Cadillac Lyriq is now the #1 luxury selling EV car in the United States. It has beaten the Rivian R1S, Tesla Model 6, BMW i4, and BMW iX. Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine is routinely in the top 5 in monthly units sold nationwide. Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine has also bested our sister stores at Sewell Village Cadillac Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio for Lyriq sales by month in this last year. So why is that important? Why is that relevant for the Cadillac Escalade IQ? It's important because you as a EV customer are no longer in this alone. You have other people who are interested in pursuing EV vehicles going from internal combustion to electric. And it's important to know that you have support. And with shopping at Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine, you will get the luxury experience that Sewell is so well known for, as well as the going through the process with a employee, an associate who is an expert in electric vehicles, whether it be the Lyriq, the IQ, or the upcoming Optic, which is also now available. So getting into the IQ, this is it, right? So this is it, 2025 Escalade IQ. It's a beautiful car. Before I get into the features and benefits of this, I want to start with the elephant in the room, the price. Escalade IQ starts at $130,000, and it makes its way north of $160,000 after options and different trims and whatnot. A lot of people may say that is a lot of money for transportation, and that is true. It's a lot of money for transportation. But with the Escalade IQ, it's not about just transportation. It's not about the money spent you get with the Escalade IQ. It's about the value gained. And to me, the Escalade IQ represents 3 things. This is not a 1-for-1 purchase. This is a 3-for-1 purchase with the Escalade IQ. First, you're going to get the luxury and technology of the world's greatest and most iconic full-size SUV, the Cadillac Escalade, but electrified. Second, you're going to get the performance package at zero compromise for technology and luxury by getting something called Velocity Max mode. And I'll get into that in a moment. And then third, you get the recyclability, sustainability of the components of the vehicle, as well as vehicle-to-home charging capabilities, which once again, I'll get into that in just a moment. But first, the features of the car that we'll start off with that's new for 2025 with the Cadillac Escalade IQ we haven't really seen before. It does take some design cues from the Cadillac Lyriq, like I was saying, primarily here on the front. But even though it does take the design cues from the Lyriq, it is still uniquely an Escalade. A lot of early returns were saying that this car is online, and the renderings were that it looks small online, and that it looks like a Lyriq. Well, it does look like a Lyriq, but it's most definitely not small. This is still uniquely an Escalade. It is still a very large vehicle. So, but yeah, the main cue that it gets from the Lyriq is the front end. You still are greeted with the really luxurious light show as you approach the vehicle, and part of my favorite part about the light show is the trickle down kind of rainwater effect you get on the classic heritage vertical Escalade lights. And where that light ends on this little bead of lights there is not by accident. It's actually the vehicle telling you your battery range as you approach the vehicle. So even before you get into the car is communicating with you. So if the lights are all the way up, you have 100% of your range. If they're halfway up, you have roughly 50% of your range. So even before you step foot in the car, it's communicating with you. It's assisting you as the driver. Also new with the Escalade IQ is we have a front-end storage called the E-Trunk. The E-Trunk, it does open 3 different ways. You can open it with the key fob. There is a button on the bottom of the front end of the grille you can open it with as well. And then you can also open it with a new technology called Auto Sense. With the Auto Sense activated on the inside and the fob on your person, as you approach the vehicle within 3 to 4 feet, you stand there, it will automatically open. So no longer if you have groceries in your hand and you're trying to balance and find the puddle lamp, you don't have to do that anymore with the Escalade IQ. It'll do that on the front and on the rear liftgate, both with that Auto Sense technology. When it is open, the capacity is 12.2 cubic feet. Blaine over here, my good buddy, he's going to tell us in golf terms. Blaine, how big is 12.2 cubic feet?
It's equivalent to 2 golf bags, Matthew.
That's right. 2 golf bags can fit inside there. 2 full-size golf bags. So also, so you can take your 2 golf bags, you could fit 2 more in the back, and then also, bring your cooler and have a day out on the range. So good amount of space. So as you close the e-trunk, it is also equipped with very sensitive safety sensors, so you will not have any bodily injuries as it closes. It's a very safe vehicle. Also new with the Escalade IQ, it comes standard with 24-inch wheels that you see here. And they also have black inserts in those wheels to help reduce wind drag and increase the efficiency and range of the battery. The wheels are also all-wheel steer, which means exactly that. All 4 wheels will turn as you turn the steering wheel. That decreases your turning radius, making this car drive small, but you can still feel very big in it. It's still an Escalade, but it handles very small. It also has the all-wheel drive and the dual motor system that's going to come with the 680 horsepower, 615 foot-pound of torque, and a 200 kilowatt-hour battery with a 460 mile range. So how far is 460 miles, right? To put it in perspective, from Dallas-Fort Worth to New Orleans is about 450 miles. So you can make it on a full charge in one trip to New Orleans from here. Obviously, you'd have to charge it once you got there, but that's the range. This eliminates range anxiety. It's non-existent anymore. So let's say you're doing that. Let's say you're taking a road trip, family of 4 to New Orleans. You're going to take your family to see the culture and the music and eat the food in New Orleans. You as the driver, you're going to hop in the front seat and you're going to get on I-20 East. And as you get on I-20 eastbound, you're going to turn on Super Cruise, Cadillac's very, very popular feature. It allows you to take your hands off the steering wheel and just cruise. You can turn on your seat massagers, your heated seats. You can listen to Miles Davis through the 36-speaker AKG sound system that is also now equipped with Dolby Atmos. And like I said, just cruise. It takes the stress off of driving for the driver. Your front seat passenger can also enjoy all those same features with you. But if they're not a fan of jazz, if they don't like Miles Davis, they can tune into their portion of the 55-inch Google built-in infotainment system, the pillar-to-pillar screen. They now have a display screen in front of them so they can enjoy their own streaming or their own browsing. So those screens are not just streaming capable now. You can do Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff, but you can also browse the internet. They come with that feature that is also new. They can also use their own Bluetooth headphones, like I said, if they're not a fan of jazz, and they can tune in, or they can use their cell phone to scan the QR code to control that screen with their phones so they can leave the screen smudge free, which is very important because it's just a sleek design. You can keep it nice and clean if you want, which is great. So your second row passengers, they enjoy the same features that are on the previous Escalade. They will have heated seats and rear media screens as well that are also equipped with streaming and browsing capabilities. Or you can upgrade to the new executive second row package, which is an option for the Escalade IQ. And what that does, it upgrades the seats to include ventilated seats as well as heated. You can have massage seats in there as well. And there's a center console attached with all the controls on a touchscreen, as well as wireless device charging pads and stowaway tray tables. So if your second row passengers are looking for the full luxury second row experience, if they need to work on their laptops, they can access the Wi-Fi via OnStar. All that stuff is a great option for you. I will note that if you are thinking about the executive second row, if you're a large family of 4, you have pets and things like that, it may not be the right option, because with the executive second row, the seats no longer fold totally flat, and they no longer totally release either. So getting into the third row is a little tighter, and the actual amount of storage space is a little less. So if you need the full capacity of the Escalade IQ for family and travel and transport, the executive second row may not be your best option. But the good news is, no matter what type of customer you are, we have the perfect option for you. So going into the second part, that's all kind of the first thing. The second part is the performance. Typically, when you get a performance vehicle, you have to sacrifice luxury and comfort and technology. But you don't care, because all you care about is performance and driving and going fast. There is no compromise with the Escalade IQ. You get the Velocity Max mode standard with this car. And by pushing that iconic V button on the steering wheel, that activates the Velocity Max mode and increases your specs from 680 horsepower and 615 foot-pound of torque to 750 horsepower and 785 foot-pound of torque getting this vehicle 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, which is just absurd for a vehicle this size. So there is no compromise with this car. This vehicle can give you luxury and technology while still scratching that itch that we all have in performance vehicles. We all love that. And then the last thing, the 3-for-1 aspect of this, right? This is a 3-for-1 purchase like I was talking about. Typically, when you buy a performance car, there's a cost associated with that. And that cost is not necessarily monetary, right? It's an environmental cost. There is bad fuel economy, there's emissions problems, all those things that come with performance vehicles. With the Escalade IQ, you don't have that. Now let's not kid ourselves, there is still a footprint on these vehicles. They still have to mine the rare earth metals for the batteries and all that stuff. But that being said, the battery system in this car is made up of 90% of recyclable materials. So after they do hit their shelf life, those batteries can be recycled into other purposes. Likewise, the interior is made of a product called Novolux, and the Novolux is sustainably sourced. So it really is General Motors putting their best foot forward to keep this car as environmentally conscious and sustainable and recyclable as possible, which I really appreciate. And then the very last aspect is the vehicle-to-home charging capabilities. This has a 200 kilowatt-hour battery in it, and if your house is equipped with the Energy Power Shift charger, that's the equipment necessary to have installed at your home for the vehicle-to-home charging, this will keep your lights on. So next time Texas has a ice apocalypse and the infamous grill lets us down yet again, and all your neighbors are huddled around a little propane heater, you will have your lights on. You will have your heat running. So it's very important. The average American household uses 30 kilowatt hours of power a day. This will keep your lights on for over 6 days with that battery size. Now there are products available in the open market that are battery banks and backup systems for like solar panels and things like that. The most notable is the Tesla Powerwall 3. Does anybody here know how much energy storage there is in a Tesla Powerwall 3, a single unit?
No.
13.5 kilowatt hours. So let's say the average consumer is going to buy 1 or 2. Let's say they buy 2, 27 kilowatt hours. That's roughly about 13% of the battery size of an Escalade IQ. So if apples were to apples, you would have to buy 15 Tesla Powerwall 3s at a cost of $12,000 a piece before installation. That equals a grand total of $180,000 to get the same battery size capabilities in your own home for a battery backup system. So if apples were apples, you could literally buy a level 1 Escalade IQ, put it in your garage, put it on blocks, and take the wheels off and never even drive it, and still get a better value than you do with a Tesla Powerwall 3. So once again, this is not just a vehicle about transportation. This is not just transportation. This is so much more than that. You get the luxury and the technology. You get the performance without sacrificing luxury and technology. You get recyclability and sustainability without sacrificing performance. You get a strong warranty from General Motors helping you. And you get the support of Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine and its expertise staff to help you along the purchase process and beyond. And the very last and most important thing is you get the king of the road, the iconic Escalade, Cadillac Escalade, the most desirable and iconic brand out there for the full-size SUV, but electrified. This is the 2025 Cadillac Escalade IQ, and with this car, you never will stop arriving.
Wow.
That's it.